Remember, the YouTube ads feed the ducks. Well, good morning everybody. It's 2 a.m. October the 3rd of the Duck Adventure. Oh man, oh man. This is the 2 a.m. party. Man, these ducks are crazy tonight. I'm gonna try to go back to bed here. It's 2 o'clock. Well, it's 4:30 and they haven't stopped all night. I don't know, it must be the nice weather right now. It's actually really warm out. The ducks are wound up tight. So 4:30, I'm getting up.
All right, everybody, we're gonna go down and do recon here. I know, ducks. Just look at them. They want out so bad. Well, people, I've been doing this every day. I don't include it in the videos because it's the same thing every day, but this is what happens. I come down here and I don't see hide or hair, you know, no signs, no tracks. Except for the, you know, the compost pile getting dug up. That's the only thing that I've got an indicator that we've got predators. So let's get Doug and the ducks out and let's get an awesome morning rush happening. Well, people, the ducks are wound out. Every morning I go down, I do that, you know, the recon there with the explosion. And right after the explosion, I come back and they just get whipped into a frenzy. They know the boom means they're gonna get out. And what's crazy, you know, the other day I had to use some fireworks to get them to go back out onto the lake, and they wouldn't go. It meant nothing to them. I was actually shooting the fireworks right above their head, like not even 2 feet above their heads, and they didn't even care. They're seriously, they're conditioned ducks. All right, I gotta turn the fence off here before Doug gets electrocuted. Forgot to do that. All right, oh, Doug's all excited. Dougie, I know, it's duck time. All right. The ducks last night ate 4 bags of feed. Oh, look at this. I think we're going to go straight to the lake today. What an awesome view that is. Look at that. That's a sea of ducks. All right, I got to get on the ladder here. Oh, they're already following me down. I better hurry up. They're getting quicker and quicker on this morning rush. I timed it the other day, and it actually was 90 seconds is all they stayed in the yard. They're getting quicker every morning here. So this is a trick, climbing the ladder with your one hand. The things I do for you guys. All right, I hear the ducks coming up behind me here. I wonder if I'm gonna get a chance to tie myself off. No, they're coming already. Doug's screwing them up by standing in the middle of the yard here. Ducks screwing me out here. Tie myself off here because I don't really like camera work without the strap on. Oh. Alright, well at least I got one clip on. Well, I think today's morning rush was less than 90 seconds in the yard. I'll have to play the video back, but I bet you it's close to a minute. They're getting faster at leaving. duck train. But of course we've got a whole bunch of stragglers behind here. I'm just going to take a quick look who's behind me here. Oh, not many. Oh, Doug's back. Goose leaves, sounding the alarm. I just wish we could catch them with a rush home. They just are, I can't do it. I just can't catch them. They keep coming back at the unbelievable, like different times every day. It's early, late. And I've got to get a decent rush home here before I start the cull, because this is once the flock gets smaller, it's not going to be as epic. But it's a pretty good train going up the creek there. I'm going to cut those branches off today. I'm going to stop at my buddy's place and get a set of loppers that Alan recommended. Never even thought of it. The crazy part is I borrow the loppers all the time to do my apple tree, and I never even thought of doing it for those branches. I guess they're called pruning tool, big pruner, tree pruners. Four bags of feed last night, 320 pounds. Oh, there's Muscovy going. Yeah, tree branch in the way. That's going to be fixed though. Because we're still going to get lots of opportunity for Muscovy flying even after the cull, because I'm not culling female Muscovies. But we got these stragglers behind here that are just not interested in going yet. What a fast rush. Just look at them heading out. Going to play. Alright, I'm going to go down and get these stragglers, and we'll get them to the lake. But that was spectacular, actually, how fast it's getting. I'm impressed how fast these ducks are this year. Faster than last year's ducks. Because last year were not as fast as this. And these guys are consistently fast. Like they're it's not like every second day or third day they're this quick. It seems that every single day they're just picking the lead up out of their bums here and just taking off. Whole bunch of Canada geese just took off. Here, I'll give you a shot. They're circling around. Oh, they just went the other direction. Damn. It looks like about 20-25 Canada geese. Oh. It's so funny. My neighbor's at the other end of the lake. He's hunting the geese and the ducks. And I was down there the other night with the binoculars because I wanted to see, where he set up his blind this year. And it's so funny. He's got decoys set up down there. And he's got quackers. And he's quacking. And he's getting nothing. Nothing's flying in because they're all at my end of the lake. Actually, there's some more just took off. They're all at my end of the lake. Because I was down at the dock and it was so funny. I chuckled because I could hear his the decoy. I could hear his the quacker that he was doing, but it was very, very faint. And all my ducks behind me in the yard here, because the dock is not very far, about maybe 400 feet, and my ducks were drowning out his quacker, and the geese were flying in, and the ducks were flying in over top of my property. None of them were down at the other end, so I seriously screwed up his duck hunting he's not having any luck whatsoever. This is the second year in a row that all the all the wild ducks and the geese are coming down to this end of the lake instead of his end, which, since I've been here since '95, and they've never been at this end of the lake. The geese and the ducks never come down here, because that end of the lake, there's no houses, there's no nothing, and that's where they used to always go. And my neighbor used to have great success, because I've talked to them, and the last 2 years it's been really bad for them. This year it's turning out to be worse, because I've got a lot of decoys down here. So, but let's get these guys out of here. Come on, ducks! Let's go! Yeah, it's so funny. I feel sorry because they're two young lads. Their dad doesn't hunt much anymore, but the two young lads, and they've got this, beautiful camo boat, and like a lot of money invested. And they got, moving wing decoys. You can see them with binoculars. The wings moving on them, and they're all, battery powered. Like, they've spent some serious money. Doug, come on! They've spent some serious money. Setting up this duck, blind down there with all the ducks, and they got nothing flying in because everything's down here. Meanwhile, I'm doing duck roundup at night, locking the ducks up, and there's, mallards walking around my lawn with my ducks, and I'm, 6-7 feet away from them. I could catch them with a net, they're so close. And they're down there spending thousands of dollars to get them, in there so they can shoot them, and it's funny. But then again, I'm spending thousands of dollars here on these decoys. Thousands and thousands of dollars. Come on, ducks! Let's go! We got rain. Oh, the next 5 days, cold and wet. But it's looking, I was just looking at the forecast, and the end of next week, they're saying sunny and 16, so Colin and I are, looks like we're going to have some decent weather for the cull. It's going to be a lot of fun, actually. I'm looking forward to Colin getting up here and get him covered in duck blood. Come on, guys. Let's go. Oh, I don't like them being down here in the swamp, walking around, even though with Doug running around, just in case, a coyote does, dart out of the bulrushes here. These guys are easy pickings. And I don't want, I've been very vigilant so far, and we haven't had a kill that we're aware of in a long time. I know we haven't had a freaking peek. The ducks haven't done any freaking peeking in quite a while. It's actually, the duck adventure has actually gotten fun. The last 2 weeks without the predators. The morning recon, hasn't, I'm getting sick of coming down here and setting out the fireworks. But, I wish we could just, let our guard down, but, we can't let our guard down if we want to be responsible and take care of the ducks here. Come on, you two. Look at these two. Doug's frogging. He's obsessed with frogging. Come on, ducks, you waddlers. Yeah, so next weekend, Colin and I will have a roast duck. And actually, I was, the feed yesterday I picked up from the farmer. The feed now that I'm feeding them, this batch of feed is all this year's feed. Everything, so they're getting fresh feed that was just growing this year. So everything I'm feeding them now is this year's product. So don't forget to thumbs up the video, guys. The duck feed is a crazy situation here. It's basically, it's working out to about $53 a day to feed these guys. Which, if you consider for 650 actors, that's not that bad. Come on, you silly duck. Look at that, they get stuck in the bulrushes, eh? Come on. Oh, man. They swim so lazy. Look at that duck, 1 foot. She don't exert any energy here. Look at that, she drags one leg, and the other leg's doing all the paddling. They know how to conserve energy. Look at this. They really, oh, that was a big hole. They're really drilling the crap out of the creek, though. Yesterday, when I was working in the yard, I couldn't believe the amount of action. They're back in the creek again drilling. And it shows, because I just want to show you, look at this. This used to be just a little hole that I fell in. That's the hole I fell in at the beginning of the season. And now look at it, they've drilled it all out. And it's all, you know, they're making the creek massive compared to what it used to be. But every time I come down here, I look at that hole and I remember, you know, it was a hidden hole and now it's a really obvious hole. Look at that. The morning rush. Right on. It was good. They're getting so fast. Except for the stragglers, you know. But everybody else is, you know, they're doing their job really quick. So I'm gonna go and do my chores. Get the, we're gonna, actually this rain that we got coming, I'm actually looking forward to it to a certain degree. You know, the pen needs to be cleaned. And it needs a, you know, it needs a good rainstorm to soften her up so that I can wash the pen out. It's pretty bad. Actually, now when you're walking in the pen, you got to be really careful because it's like the ground is, it's like covered in grease, the whole thing, everywhere. And you've got to be, you just don't blindly walk across the pen. Every footstep, you have to make sure that you know your leg is stiff so it doesn't slide out from underneath you. It's pretty slippery. Oh, that's so some rain would be nice to get in there with the rainstorm and the hose and wash it out. Alright, I'm gonna go do the chores and have my breakfast. Well, everyone, I tried to get a rush home tonight, but the ducks did it again. They came back early. I was just in getting preparing supper. I thought, oh, I'll do a little prep here and, you know, get ahead of schedule, and that way I'll be ready for them. And they snuck back, and they're actually really quiet coming home tonight. But they did try to sneak home about 3 o'clock, and I was up in the tree trying to trim the branches back, and they saw Doug and I down there, and it was so funny. They were like little kids, and they turned around and went right back out to the lake. So I guess it's not too bad. It's 4:30. I dropped the ball. I should have been waiting for them, but I had to get supper ready here. I would have really liked to get the shot home, but tomorrow I'm going to just focus on it. But we've got rain for the next 4 days, so I don't know what it's going to be like for filming. But there's some stragglers, of course the Muscovies at the end there. So, I missed the aerial rush home, unfortunately. So they're gonna cut my grass for me. And you know, I was up there with the tree, the tree trimmer, or the pruner, I mean, and I thought, oh, you know, I'll get the ducks in. I thought for sure I'd get them today. I absolutely thought for sure. I just want to give you a shot here at the end of the day here at the ducks relaxing. They're all having a nap. If you take a look. They're all got their eyes closed or partially closed. Doug just herded them all into this big circle. He just did the perimeter sweep and did some barking. And, you know, the end of the day on the duck adventure. Hard day at the lake. God, he's getting loud. And he's only going to get louder. Or she. I don't know what it is yet, but and they get louder than that.